I'm here today to talk about what I learned about people from building a $9 billion project. The $9 billion project is CityCenter in Las Vegas. It is the largest privately funded project in U.S. history. It's comprised of 18 million square feet, and it was built in a record 60 months. It's comprised of 7 buildings. Those 7 buildings, to put it in perspective, imagine 8 Empire State Buildings being built at the same time. We employed 12,000 construction workers at the peak of construction. We had 7 world-class architects on the project. We had 46 interior designers. CityCenter is the largest green certified project in the world. Now, Las Vegas is a place that continues to change. After working many years for Steve Wynn and MGM, I've seen the Strip transform. CityCenter was conceived in 2004. MGM owns 76 acres of real estate between Bellagio and Monte Carlo. They realized they needed to create something special. They did. That project was CityCenter. CityCenter is made up of a 4,000-room Aria hotel, a 400-room Mandarin Oriental luxury hotel, 2,500 luxury residential units, and a Crystals retail facility that is only home to luxury brands. Now, I'm not here today to talk about a collection of buildings. Rather, I'm here today to discuss a demonstration of what people are capable of when their interests are aligned. When people's interests are aligned, something special happens. They become happier, they become energetic, and most importantly, their collaboration level increases. We created 5 practices at CityCenter to create that alignment. And because of that alignment, we were able to open CityCenter on time. So let's examine those 5 principles of human alignment. Number 1, establish a project vision. Number 2, find the right people. Number 3, empower decision making. Number 4, find more people. And number 5, problem-solving forum. So let's examine those principles in a little more detail. We've all started an assignment and realized that the vision that we've been assigned to do hasn't been clearly translated to us. At CityCenter, we discussed project vision in the very first board meeting. The board of directors said we want a project that's world-class. We want a project that has sustainability behind it. We want to focus on the largest public art program in Nevada. And we also established a schedule in that meeting. Our largest shareholder stood up and said, "I'm 89 years old. Can you build CityCenter in 5 years?" And that became the stage by which we would move forward on CityCenter. Always really important to be sure that the project vision and scope discussions get transferred down to each of the employees on a project. Find the right people. How many times have we had an assignment, we know the people that are working with us aren't capable of dealing with the responsibilities that they're going to have to deal with? Happens all the time. At CityCenter, we realized we needed additional support to deliver this project in 60 months. So we called upon a construction management firm in New York. They're 120 years old. And we said, we need 120 people from your firm for 5 years in Las Vegas. So we visited them in New York about 2 weeks later, and we went into a ballroom at a hotel in New York City. And as we walked in, there were 120 people lined around the perimeter of the ballroom. They introduced themselves by name, title, and years of experience. Nobody in that room had less than 20 years experience. So we knew we had the right company, and we knew we had the right people. Empowered decision making. How many times have we had an assignment where we've said to ourselves, I wish they gave me more power. I could do more as an employee. Well, at CityCenter, we had 7 buildings that were being constructed concurrently, and we had 7 project directors who were responsible to manage those buildings. Now, MGM had a financial authority set by your rank and role in the company. So the people that worked for me, the 7 individuals, had a spending authority of $75,000 per cost event. If the cost event came by from a change order, they were able to spend up to $75,000. We knew that would not work at CityCenter. We needed something that would move quicker, faster, and allow us to stay within the schedule that we were working to. So we went to the board of directors, and we said we would like to increase the spending authority of our 7 project directors to $350,000. You can imagine how that went over in the board meeting. They eventually did approve it, and as we went back and met with our team and told them that the company had empowered them to spend up to $350,000, you can imagine how elated they were. So sometimes you have to change the system. Find more people. How many times have we had an assignment and we realized we need more help? So at CityCenter, about 18 months before opening, I asked the president of our general contractor, is there anything on this project that you cannot complete? Don't come tell me 3 months before opening that you have a problem. He said, give me a week, I'll go back and meet with my staff, and he did. And he came back and said, there's 7 spaces I'm not sure we can finish by opening. I thanked him for his honesty and said to him, those 7 spaces are no longer part of your scope. I will take them over myself. So I hired 7 local general contractors in Las Vegas. We finished those 7 spaces on time, and we saved $9 million. So never stop evaluating your staffing needs during an assignment. Number 5, this is really, and I want to focus on this one picture because when you talk about complexity, this is a great example of it. So if you look at the picture, in the back we have an Aria hotel, 4,000 room hotel. You see a curtain wall installation on the skin of the building being installed. You also see 7 tower cranes. And all these tower cranes, different than other projects, overlap in the radius. So each tower crane has an air traffic controller on ground to manage the swinging and the scheduling of all material logistics. And on the right, you see 2 buildings. As if we didn't have enough complexity, we added 2 buildings that lean in 5 degrees in opposite directions. So those towers are residential towers in Las Vegas called VIR. Now what was interesting is Harvard Business School was very intrigued with these buildings. So in 2008, they visited CityCenter several times. And in 2009, January of 2009, they published 2 Harvard case studies. And they focus on decision-making at CityCenter. They were amazed at how fast we were able to make decisions. As I said to our staff, no decision is more damaging than the wrong decision. Because when there's no decision, everything stops. So you have to have the courage sometimes, without all the facts, to be able to make the decisions. So how did we deal with problem solving at CityCenter? We realized early on that we needed to have a session to deal with the thousands of issues that were occurring in the field every day. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we met for 1 hour, 8 to 9, for 5 years. The door locked at 8:01. If you were late, you were not able to enter the meeting. And we did that to create a consistency that this meeting would only be 1 hour. And the purpose of that meeting was only to address problems, not to solve them. Problems will be solved after the meeting. Now, it was interesting because it took about a month for people to actually say they had a problem in front of their peers. And this became a forum for us to address issues on a regular basis with 29 people in the room, and it allowed us to be no more than 1 or 2 days away from a new problem. And there were lots of them, for sure. As you might imagine, on a project that's 18 million square feet with 12,000 workers and my in-house staff of 360 in-house professionals. So what does all this mean to you? Do these principles apply to your work environment or your company? The answer is yes. They apply to companies of all sizes, small, medium, or large. These principles also improve your company's image, its execution, and more importantly, employee satisfaction. When employees are excited about their work, they believe they are part of something special, and they are. At CityCenter, I realize that people are capable of great things when all their interests are aligned. So I'm going to close with a simple question. How will you ensure that your company's principles have been set to maximize the power of human alignment? Thank you.